Whether you know how to cook or learning how to cook, please do yourself a favor and learn how to make this sauce. This sauce goes well with so many dishes, it's versatile, and it tastes so amazing. Stay tuned to learn how. This sauce is a common dish in most African dish, and most people call it stew. It is the main base for most African dish as well, and there are various ways to cook stew, but the most common ingredients that most people use are bell peppers, onions, tomatoes, and also spices like red pepper, cayenne pepper, habanero pepper, any kind of spicy pepper basically. Sometimes I cook it with just plain white onions or yellow onions, and other times I like to use red onions. But in this one, I am going to go ahead and mix the white as well as the red onions. Another ingredient that's added to this sauce is garlic, and it's always best to use the fresh garlic. For the sauce I'm making for this video, I had blended some garlic with the habanero pepper, so I did not add additional garlic. Also, if I want a little sweetness to it, I do like to add the tri-colored bell peppers or just red bell peppers. So the first thing you want to do after washing your veggies is to chop them up in small enough pieces. It doesn't have to be perfect either, however you like to cut them. And I'm using green pepper on this one. So on this recipe, I am making enough sauce to use for like 3 types of recipes. So I'm using half of this big bell pepper. I also used 1 red onion and 2 yellow onions. Also 4 tomatoes and some garlic mixed with habanero pepper that I had in my freezer. I normally add extra garlic, but since some of the seasonings that I was using have garlic, I did not add extra garlic. So once your veggies are all chopped up and ready, it is time to start cooking them. And I did get my habanero pepper with the garlic out of my freezer to thaw it a little bit. So it is time to cook it, and it takes about 45 minutes to about an hour to cook. And please, please, please make sure you are very mindful of the types of cookware or pans, pots and pans that you use, because some of them do contain harmful chemicals. So I do use this Chef Fondry's saucepan here. It is non-toxic, so you don't have to worry about getting those toxins in your food as you cook. And if you are interested in getting one, I'll have the link in the description box. Also, please use non-hydrogenated oils, like I'm using avocado oil in this particular recipe. You can also use olive oil. So once your pan is heated, as well as the oil, you want to go ahead and add the veggies. One thing about this sauce is that it can be eaten by almost anyone, whether you're a vegetarian, vegan, meat eater. Whatever your preference may be, this sauce goes with almost anything savory. So here I'm going to go ahead and add the seasoning, starting with the pink Himalayan salt. And then I like to use vegetable, better than bouillon vegetable flavor. And this seasoning is healthier when it comes to the ingredients in it. They have natural ingredients. It doesn't have MSG or toxic ingredients in it. I also like to use kinder seasoning, which also has natural ingredients. Once my seasonings are in, I am just mixing it up and also trying to crush this habanero pepper mixed with garlic because it's still a little frozen. But you want to mix it well until everything is incorporated. And you can let it simmer and just make sure that you check on it every 10 to 15 minutes and stir it and mix it up a little bit so that it doesn't get stuck on the bottom or get burned. So you want to cook this for 20 minutes, then put it on medium-low. At that time, you also want to add about 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of water. cook that for about 10 to 15 minutes longer. And the last like 10 minutes or so, you want to put it on low and just let it simmer until the onions are translucent. Forgot to mention, during the last 10 or 15 minutes while it is simmering, you can go ahead and close the skillet with a lid. After about 45 minutes or so of cooking the sauce, this is what it looks like when it's done. The onions are translucent. And I'll go over some of my favorite recipes that I like to use the sauce with. However, sometimes I do freeze it if I have enough energy to make a lot, because you can freeze the sauce and use it for multiple of things, including making spaghetti sauce with it. So if you were to make spaghetti sauce, all you have to do is add tomato paste with basil in the sauce and turn it into spaghetti sauce and throw your meatballs or whatever you like to add to your spaghetti sauce. But this is the sauce, and I left some in the skillet, and I'm going to use this on one of the recipes that I'm going to go over. And then I put the rest of this in the fridge once it was cool enough to go in the fridge. So one of the recipes that I like to make with this sauce is making bean burritos. So back in the days when I used to make my own burritos, I used to buy the refried beans in the can. But this one tastes way better, it's fresher, and the ingredients are cleaner and better, of course. But now this is my favorite, using pinto bean, organic pinto bean. I just added it to the sauce, stirring it, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of water. That way it will cook down and be easier to mash and resemble the texture of refried beans. So I'll cook this for about 20 minutes, and then when it's ready, I'll go ahead and mash it down and make some flavorful burritos. And this is the end result of these beans. I'm just smashing them here before I add it to my tortilla. So this is one of the videos that I made on my TikTok. I'm showing you here how I made the burritos using this wonderful sauce. And this is a guacamole that I made, also homemade, and I'm adding some feta cheese to it. And these burritos are so delicious. It is way healthier than most burritos that you buy at the stores or restaurants, and you know exactly what's in them. And they are far more reasonable than if you were to buy them at the stores or restaurants. My next recipe using this amazing sauce is making omelet. So if you like omelet, you're gonna love this recipe. So when I make my omelet, I do like to have tomatoes, onions, bell peppers, and all those things in my omelet, and all that is included in the sauce already, so it just makes everything way easier, and the sauce is already well seasoned. It tastes so good. So with omelet, it just tastes so amazing. Anyway, I still do add a little bit of seasoning. I also like to add a little bit of water in my omelet when before I beat the egg. So I'm adding a little bit of liquid amino, and a little bit of water, and also some pepper. And then I'm gonna go ahead and beat the eggs before I add it to the sauce. So basically, you'll use the sauce as a replacement for the oil. So once the sauce is heated enough, you want to go ahead and add the omelet or the egg mixture in the sauce, and let it cook just like you would with a regular omelet. Also, you can add more veggies like spinach or mushrooms if you choose to. Another favorite of mine when it comes to using this sauce is using it with plantains. Now, if you love plantains, you're gonna love this sauce with it. And I like to broil or air fry my plantains. If you choose to fry it regular, you might want to consider using like avocado oil or coconut oil. But please avoid using hydrogenated oils like vegetable oil, canola oil, grapeseed oils, because they're highly inflammatory and bad for your health. So avoid those. So my last recipe is for vegans, vegetarians, or if you are just trying to cut down eggs for whatever reason, is using this sauce to make an egg replacement breakfast. So I'm using tofu here. So I'm kind of making like scrambled eggs using tofu. So I just added the tofu, and this is firm, not extra firm, because it's easier to crush and it has more of that egg texture. So I added the tofu in here, and I'm just kind of crushing it even more so that I can have the egg texture. And one thing that I like to add to this, not only to give it the color of eggs, but also for to fight inflammation, is using turmeric. Turmeric is a awesome root that greatly helps with inflammation issues. And every time you use turmeric, it's best to add a black pepper because it absorbs better in the body with black pepper. By the way, I did make a separate video on just this recipe if you want to check that out. You just add your tofu, add your seasoning, cook it for about 10 minutes or so, and this is your egg replacement breakfast. Easy, healthy, and delicious. Anyway, these are some of my favorite recipes using this stew sauce. I hope you learn how to make this amazing sauce, because once you learn how to make it, you can make so many dishes with it. And these are just some of the things that you can make with it. I have so many other recipes that you can use with the same sauce, and you can freeze the sauce so you can use it later on for something else. Yes, I ate almost all this in one setting. By the way, I only eat twice a day, so sometimes I do have big breakfast meal. I do intermittent fast, so I don't eat breakfast till like about between 12 and 2 p.m. But anyway, this breakfast was so delicious. I hope you try these recipes. I hope you try making this sauce. If you do, please let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know if you are familiar with this type of sauce, because I know it is pretty common in most West African dishes. I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, or you appreciate this video, please do give it a like. Also, if you're leveling up and becoming a better version of yourself, and you're looking into healthy options when it comes to beauty recipes, food recipes, and even house cleaning recipes, make sure you do subscribe to my channel and hit that post notification button so you don't miss any of my future videos. I hope you have a blessed day, evening, night, wherever you are, and I hope to catch you on my next video.